Good evening, everybody. It's Blair Nightingale here. Welcome to Market Monday. We're going to break down the markets today. What happened today? We were together last Monday. We're going to take a look at the price action. I want to help you guys, whether you're brand new or you've been with us for a while. What's going on in the markets? What kind of opportunity is out there? I want to help you do that. My name is Blair Nightingale, and I'm one of the coaches over here at Tradeway. Thanks for joining us, YouTube. Thanks for joining us, Facebook friends. Thank you. It is Market Monday, 6 p.m. on Monday night. You might be watching a recording of this. Everything's backlogged, recorded for you on YouTube if you're joining us there later. But for those of us who are joining March 28th, 6 p.m. Central, this is going to be some actionable information here in terms of just looking at what the market is doing right now in that sense, right? It'll give us the ability to understand. That is the goal. All right. Also, I want to show you today in our series that we've been doing here on Market Monday, things I wish I knew before I started trading. One of those things, just how important having mentorship is, right? Having coaching and mentorship. Anytime we want to grow in anything in life, it stands to reason that we would learn from someone who already knows how to do it, right? Somebody who's going to get into the fray with us and help us learn. Why would we do that? I've got 5 reasons why traders should learn from a mentor. There's a ton of information out there, right? If you're with us tonight on YouTube, Facebook, chances are many of you have already looked across the internet for information, right? And it's something that even we all know is out there for the most part, again, right? Some of us, maybe this is your first introduction to trading, but there is information. But we don't just need information. Wisdom is information applied correctly, right? It's understanding how to trade, not just what trading is. We can get definitions and certain methodologies, but learning how to apply that as an individual is a whole different story altogether. I like to tell people all the time, I want to show you the power of trading. I want to show you what's at your fingertips to be able to trade on your laptop, your phone, whatever it is. It's very accessible. But I don't want to show you just enough to be dangerous, right? I want to show you how to do this. Trading is never guessing, gambling, or going for it. That's what I always say. If we walk into a casino, that's pretty much all we can do. Guess, gamble, and go for it. That's the problem some people have with the stock market. They say, this is just gambling. But if you have a system that teaches you when a good opportunity is present and when a good opportunity is not present, how to manage the risk, now we're getting into a different sort of thing. We're not guessing, gambling, or going for it anymore. That's a whole lot different than just learning information on trading. And I want you to be successful at your trading, whatever your goal is, whatever your monetary goal is, and whatever that monetary goal means for you. I've heard it all, right? Retirement, freedom, extra income, vacations, ministries, missions, you name it, right? It's not about the money. It's about the things that we want to translate that into. That's true for anybody, right? You have something that you want to translate this into. And my goal here on Market Monday is not just to give you information. It's to give you something that over time, layer upon layer, is going to help you move towards your goal. At the end of the program, I'm not just going to talk about mentors. I'm going to give you an opportunity to join in on something where we're actually going to have a summit of mentors. Some you've probably heard of from all over the industry that is going to be designed to help you get a whole lot of information, but application from some people who are actually going to be really exciting to hear from. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. I can see some friends have been joining in here. As always, here on Market Monday, drop a comment right in that comment box there. We get some really great questions on here from time to time. We get some suggestions on episodes. I always take that stuff to heart. This isn't just a pre-scripted thing where I come on, talk at the screen, and leave. I want to be interactive with you, and I hope you know you can be interactive with me. If you've got questions about stocks, options, trading, anything that I talk about in the session itself, please go ahead, drop a comment. If you just want to say hi, you can do that too. I love that. You can always tag a friend's name there, Facebook, send them the link YouTube if I talk about something that you think they would probably want to know this too. Now, coaching and mentoring. Why? Why is this important? That's what today's session. Things I wish I knew before I started trading. Why? Well, I'm going to tell you 5 reasons right now why I wish I knew how important it was, right? You probably could have sold me on this is important, but I wish I knew how important it was. Because if I knew how important it was, I would have spent more time in mentorship and coaching, right? I would have gone after it more aggressively. I would have felt a whole lot more confident about my trading if I'd done that, right? This is why I would have taken this more seriously. I'm just going to give you that today, which incidentally is exactly my point. If somebody who has done something already that you would like to do tells you, hey, you should try this, try mentoring, try coaching. It's really important. That's coaching right there, isn't it? Right? You can avoid so many things and attain so many other things. Certainly that's the potential of it if we have coaching. So let's not take any more time and dive right in. What is the deal with coaching and mentoring? Why would that matter in your trading? There are probably some obvious reasons that come to mind for all of us. We think about, well, it'd be nice to be able to learn from somebody like that. Why exactly? Number one, it's faster, right? Who doesn't want to go faster? Our friend Myron Golden says it all the time. We ought to go further, faster, with less work, right? And I'd rather go faster than slower because I don't have unlimited time. I don't have unlimited time. I would rather get to my goals sooner than later. Now, certain things I can't make any faster, right? They're going to take the time that they're going to take. But certainly through my own ignorance, right? My own mistakes, my own questions that remain unanswered, that can make things longer, right? I may not be able to make the learning curve shorter to a degree, right? I can shorten it, and that's why we want to do mentors, but I can certainly make it longer. There's certain lessons I've had to learn, things I've learned in life. I couldn't have made them any faster to a degree, but I certainly made them longer when I didn't understand the importance of a mentor. It's just faster. If you learn from somebody who's already taken 20 years to work on their trading, you think you might learn faster than 20 years if they just boil that down and tell you what they do, right? That's a whole lot faster. That's a whole lot faster, right? It is a lot faster if you learn from somebody else. You get your questions just like right here, right? Going and figuring out the answer to your question on your own when you don't know what questions to ask, you don't know the vocabulary, you don't even know maybe what you're doing right or doing wrong, it's just going to take a lot more time. And this accelerates the process. Because I don't have unlimited time, it can't replace time. I can replace money. I'm okay spending money to get coaching for something that I can get that money back, but I can't get that time back. And I've hired coaches, particularly last year, I really put this principle into practice, where I hired coaches, mentors in, well, about 3 areas of my life, right? Trading, health and fitness, and I'm a musician, right? I'm a musician, and I've been a musician for decades now. And even decades in, I said, you know what? There's a lot of people who know a lot more than me. I'm in this business. I'm going to bring somebody in. You know what it did? It changed my business. It changed my business. It changed my health. It changed my trading. Even now, right? It changed it. I continue to invest because I want to move further, faster with less work. I bet you do too. I don't know why you wouldn't want to. Time is not a renewable resource. Money is a renewable resource, especially in trading. I'm investing in something that's meant to make me money, which brings us to number 2. Getting a mentor is cheaper. In the long run, it's cheaper. I can't tell you how many people I talk to who are going to go trade for the first time. And I can tell you, because I've watched hundreds of traders, right? Even in my own trading, I know that you go and you make mistakes in the market. And when you move too fast in the market and you don't know what you're doing, you're going to make mistakes. Those mistakes are going to cost you money, and your capital is your lifeline in trading. If you lose your capital, you can't trade anymore. So when you learn from a mentor, it streamlines your ability to do the right things at the right times so that you can protect that capital. That's what you want to do. You don't want to go out there and lose your money because you don't know what you're doing. Secondly, I've seen a lot of people who go out and they make money and then they give it all back, right? If I meet somebody who goes, man, I made $15,000 in the stock market and then I gave it all back to the stock market, I like to say to that person, then mentorship is worth at least $15,000 to you, right? Because you'd have that right now if you'd had somebody to help you do that. Certainly a much higher likelihood, right? A mentor can't control you, obviously, right? We still all make our own decisions and our own mistakes. But a higher likelihood, if we listen to that mentor and that mentor is able to help us, we might keep a lot more of that money, even if it was half that money, right? That would be a huge deal. I was working with a student once and we found that in their trading, this individual thought, man, I'm not getting it. I'm just not getting ahead. And we looked at their trades and we found that actually you're doing really well, but you're not stopping out your trades properly. You're not stopping out your trades properly. If you would do 50% better on 50% of your stop outs, that's halfway better on only half of your stop outs, you would be ahead. You'd be ahead. So this person felt defeated, like, I'm not getting it. I'm not going to get there. And then when we really had somebody look at that, right? In this case, it was myself looking at that. I'm going, you know what? You're not as far off as you think you are. And of course, this individual was very encouraged by that. That's a mentor, right? So instead of going out and making a bunch of mistakes, going out and doing something and then giving it back, right? Or even maybe you're trading and you're doing actually pretty good, but you don't know it, right? Which can affect number three. Number three, having a mentor protects your mindset. When you go out and there's fear in your trading, because subconsciously, I don't know if I'm doing this right. I don't know. I'm taking risk. Maybe I'm taking too little. Maybe I'm taking too much. Maybe I have that boom bust cycle. What that does in our mindset, right? We start taking losses. It creates fear. It creates fear in our mindset. And that fear feeds our trading. And then our trading gets harder because fear does not help trading. It does not help trading. Even if you have a system, right? We've got to learn how to control that fear. A mentor and a coach can help you do that because if they're worth their salt, they understand. Emotions are such a huge part of trading. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, if you want to be successful at trading, you're going to have to get your emotions under control. A coach can help you do that, and they can help you do that faster because they're on the outside, right? They have that objective perspective, and that's what we want to have. We don't always have that when it's our money on the line, and that money attached to what? Our why, right? We have a dream for that money. There can be a lot of emotional energy surrounding that dream that trading is for us. And that's something we have to get under control. So if you have a coach and you know what to do and you can quickly correct mistakes, you actually protect that mindset, right? There are two kinds of traders that go out and create a really bad mindset through trying to trade on their own, making 1,000 mistakes, losing a bunch of money. And then if they don't quit trading, right? Which they shouldn't. They're on the right track. They just need to tweak some things, right? They need to grow and learn. If they don't quit, then they start trading again, but now they're carrying all that negative emotional energy into their trading. And we've got to untangle that. I know this because I've seen it and I've done it, right? If we have a mentor from the beginning, right, we can protect that. And even if we don't have that from the beginning, a mentor can help us untie that and get rid of that out of our trading. I teach an entire course at Tradeway about that mindset, right? Mindset preservation and then protection. If you've created some of that negativity, that fear, you did really well for a long time and you find, man, I just can't get momentum. Something a mentor can help you with. That's number three. But I told you guys that we were going to get into a little bit of the chart. So let's take a little break on our list of the top 5 things that I think we need to know. Not the only 5 things, but the top 5 things of why a mentor is so crucial. I just mentioned 3 of them. It's faster. I'm telling you, it's faster. You learn from somebody else. It's what we call time compression, right? David Mitchell started this company after trading for 30 years. He taught people over several years. Those people of several years were able to teach me faster than that, right? I'm still learning, right? I'm always trying to learn, But really being active did not take very long because I had people to teach me. That's coaching and mentorship. It's faster. It's highly likely it's going to be a whole lot cheaper for you, right? Because you're going to pay for an education in the markets. You're either going to pay the market or you're going to have to pay someone somewhere to train you so that you know more than just enough to be dangerous in the markets. Oh, Wall Street will give us a brokerage account. They'll give us a brokerage account any day we want. We can come in there, spend our money. But I'll tell you what they expect retail traders to do. That's you and me. They expect us to come in there, have no discipline, no system, no edge, right? No coaching, no mentorship, lose our money, and guess who gets to keep it? They do. They do. They like that. But we don't have to do that, right? The job of a trader is to manage risk. But the goal of a trader is to make money. Is to make money. That's the goal, right? Job of a trader is to manage risk. Goal of a trader is to make money. And we want a mentor to help us protect that. All right. Number 3, it protects your mindset. I just talked about that one. That's the top 3. Let's take a look at the markets here today. Again, if you just joined us and you have any questions as we're going along here, please say hi, drop it in the comment box. I'd love to hear from you. Here we're looking at the S&P 500 charts by Tradeway. You know, we started making some pretty big moves here a couple weeks ago. Lots of volatility. 2 things I'm going to show you that are really crucial and key. You can take this, you can use this in your own trading. We didn't know that the S&P 500 was going to break out of its downtrend, but we did know that it had found support 1, 2, 3 times. This time right here, very straight line, right? It made a low, it opened at this price, it went up, it failed at the same resistance line. See that right there? It dropped down, except it didn't make it down to support, did it? That's what an up or downtrend would do. It'd make a low, a lower low, and an even lower low, like it had been doing, right? Patterns repeat themselves. That's what a pattern is. Well, it didn't do that, did it? And then it bounced, but it failed, right? We were in a squirrel market at this point in time. It failed, and then it hit this point right here, right? And then we got some follow through. Now, this wasn't a time where our students went out and said, yes, we're going to load up on stocks. Why? Because it's still in a downtrend, a downward wedge at best, right? Lower highs and then even lows, right? This way and this way. That's a downward wedge. It means there's some indecision happening, right? Then it broke out of the downtrend here, right? And every day we are updating our students in the morning, what's going on in the market. And we just had to watch those moving averages. So what we've been doing is instructing our students, our more advanced students, is, well, let's look for some opportunities in between these averages. Now we could take the risk and see if it's strong enough to break up through all of these. But it's something we could also do is just go between these averages. It opens on what? Old resistance as new support. It moves up to the 50-day. Okay. The next day moves from the 50-day to the 200-day. Get a little pullback to the 50, moves up through, right? We talked about this day. The market moves up, get a little pullback, pushes up through. Get a little pullback, pushes up to what? The 100-day. Today, we broke up through that. This is a big deal today in particular because we're really above these moving averages, which in this big move down became stacked on top. Now they're starting to point up and they're stacked on the bottom, right? They're not acting as resistance in the same way now. They're acting as support. So we might expect another day or two, providing news doesn't create a bunch of headwind in the market. We do have some economic data coming this week. Friday, we got the jobs report. Want to watch out for that. That typically has a medium to higher impact on the market. I think with the way that the Fed is raising rates right now, there is probably going to be more news sensitivity. Talks of a potential recession are certainly in the air. We haven't seen Wall Street willing to let stocks go into the basement yet. Still holding on to this market. And we've had a pretty hot run, as you can see on the screen here, the last couple of weeks. So not ready to let it fall out yet, but we're starting to hear that headwind. So I want to see, is Wall Street as willing to continue to buy these rallies up into the kinds of highs that we had before? We'll see if they're willing to do that. But for now, pretty bullish on this top side of the moving averages. Okay, so we're starting to look out in the markets for more charts that we can trade that are looking to the top side. Still talking to our students more so about, hey, we're going to go a little shorter term. We want to do a smaller position size on these trades because this is a place where we're just not sure if we're going to see continual movement, especially after we have got an extended run up, which is the last thing I'll add here. Anytime you're trading and you do get an extended run like this, there's two things happening at one time. You're seeing the market run pretty hot, which makes us want to what? Get involved, right? Get in and start buying. But there's always a risk factor of the longer that gets extended without a real retracement, the more risk we have of buying at the highs and then seeing a greater pullback in the market. So we have to balance that out. One of the ways we do that is by changing the position size and changing the strategy and the tool and the time frame that we trade in the markets. Okay, that's what's going on the S&P 500 right now. Tomorrow, seeing, if we're going to open at the same point, potentially gap down into that 100-day area and then see that as support. We'll watch for that at the open tomorrow. Okay, back to our program. What do I wish I knew before I started trading? Because it would have made trading a whole lot easier if I'd understood how important this was. I said it's faster. It's highly likely to save you a lot of money, potentially a lot of money, because you get to protect what you have and promote what you have by working with somebody who's already done it. Number 3, it protects your mindset. That almost sounds like the lesser of the 3, but I promise you, it's probably the most important thing of the 3 that I've talked about so far. That mindset is so important. If you're a new trader, I'm telling you, this is an exciting thing to be able to do. I've had a real revival and refreshment, if you will, of trading and what it can do and how amazing it is, learning some new things. Sometimes you just need to learn something new. But trading can be a ton of fun. It should be fun, okay? It can be emotional, but it should be fun. And that's what we want to help you do here at Tradeway. Number 4, moving through my top 5, coaching and mentorship. Over the years, I've talked about coaching and mentorship because I'm a big believer of it in any area that you want to grow further, faster, with less work. And the question I inevitably get is, Blair, that sounds good, but I don't know where to find one, right? I'm usually in a context where I'm talking to believers, Christians. They want to grow in something. How do I have a mentor? Where do I find a mentor? And I've done an entire session on that in the past. I won't go as deep into that right here, but I will tell you, when it comes to trading, you got mentors right here at Tradeway. That's what you're doing even on this webinar. This isn't just a webinar of information, right? I'm not just going to give you information. Miranda has a question in the box. And I'm going to jump over to that question here. I'm going to keep moving through this material. Miranda, thank you for the question. I'm going to jump over to that. This isn't just me talking at a screen. You get an opportunity to ask some questions too. That's very important. So you've got an opportunity right here. Also, Tradeway, we've got coaches every day the market's open doing live trading webinars. I'm answering student questions in real time. That's what I do here at Tradeway. We've got a bunch of other people who've grown through our program, our system, and now they coach and teach the system themselves. Those are people that you have access to in the Tradeway programs. I also mentioned we've got our 2022 Word on Investing Summit. Word on Investing is the Tradeway podcast. If you head on over to podcasts, Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you can access that kind of thing, you can find the Word on Investing podcast from Tradeway. That's a place where you can get information from our founder, David Mitchell, and all kinds of other special guests that join him on there. Some really amazing people are on that podcast. A new season just started. That's what Rhonda's saying. How do I connect with the coach or mentor? So, like I just said, you can get on here and do exactly what you're doing right now, Rhonda. You can also join one of the Tradeway programs, which ultimately is where we learn to trade, right? This gives you some exposure. I want to give you some value here to help boost your trading, but that's where you're really going to learn the skill set. I like to say that learning to trade is learning a trade, right? It's a trade, and you can learn it too. We got to get you some coaching and mentorship, and that's available in our programs. If you haven't done anything with us yet, head on over to tradeway.com and you can join our Step 1 Start Your Journey class. That's the foundational class, not just the basic class. That's the foundational class of our system. And you can do that right over there at tradeway.com, right on the main page. And then lastly, like I said, our 2022 Word on Investing Summit is coming, and I'm going to post that before we're done today. So that is number 4, coaching, mentorship. It's available, right? I get the question a lot. How do I get that? I just saw that from Rhonda, right? That's great. It's available to you right here at Tradeway. That's what we do every day. Number 4. Number 5, right? Number 5, hey, it's just easier, right? Now, I think I've listed multiple ways that support that it's easier, but let's just say it like it is. When it comes to trading, there's a process here, guys, right? Figuring out trading on your own can be hard, right? The benefits of trading are very attractive, very, very attractive. But the challenges of trading are real. They're not insurmountable, like some like to say. We don't believe that here at Tradeway. I don't believe that. But it can be challenging. So why not make it easier, right? Further, faster with what? Less work. Less work. That's what a mentor is meant to help you do. So getting one makes it easier. You got questions. You got to get answered, right? They don't have to be unanswered questions. They can be answered questions. What about mistakes? You know, I got involved with this group that does coaching and mentorship for professionals, athletes. These guys have done NFL, Fortune 500 companies, you name it. Anybody in the high level world of business, sports, they've been involved. They're called the Flipping Group. There are some amazing people over there at the Flipping Group. Tradeway is not involved with them in any official capacity, but I've personally seen they teach a lot of people how to what? Break through their greatest weaknesses. A lot of coaching and mentorship is about how to get your strengths in order. But in trading, it's often coming down to your greatest weaknesses. Now, here's what I learned working with these individuals. Their whole approach is helping you and I understand not what's your greatest strength. There's lots of resources for that. Let's find out what your greatest weakness is. I want you to imagine with me for a second an Olympic runner, okay? 100-meter dash runner. You see how muscular they are, how big the legs are, the shoulders, explosive energy, right? They have to be strong, they have to be fast, they have to be extremely well-conditioned. Now imagine that Olympic runner running in a pool 100 meters long, full of 4.5 feet of water, right? It doesn't take long for us to realize that person, it doesn't matter how smart they are. It doesn't matter how experienced they are. It doesn't matter how strong and conditioned and trained and how sharp the mindset is. If they don't deal with the constraint that is in their sport, right? In other words, if we don't drain the water, you're with me on this picture, right? If we don't drain the water, it doesn't matter. And many of us have constraints in our trading that despite the fact that we are good traders, we are fully capable, right? We understand what we're doing, but we don't have those constraints. Fear, maybe we don't understand what we're doing yet. Maybe there's just one thing that if a mentor helped you fix, like I mentioned that individual earlier with their stop outs, that would change your whole perspective. It could change your trading overnight. You could begin to adjust, and who knows what that would do for you. You say, well, what if it doesn't work? But a mentor is going to say, what if it does? And what if we can help you do that? I would say that's worth fighting for. I would say that's worth fighting for. I would say it's worth draining the pool. A coach or a mentor makes it easier because we can help you drain the pool. Everybody's got weaknesses. Everybody's got weaknesses. If you don't think you do, then that's probably your greatest weakness right there, right? I have them. You have them. Let's help each other get rid of them. I'm not just talking about something motivational, inspirational here. I'm talking about in your trading, a mentor could define 1 or 2 major things that if you would just change those things, that'd be the single greatest thing that you could do. I hired a coach last year for health and fitness. This guy was a world champion. I had a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I hired him. He showed me a few not very complicated things. The value wasn't in that it was so complicated. The value was that it was so simple. I just didn't know. I just didn't notice that I was doing some things off. He helped me correct those, and the results were tremendous. I had many people asking me, what on earth have you changed? What are you doing? Because you're getting better results than I've ever seen. And I have to say, I got a coach. I got a coach who helped me do a couple of things. He's helped me take those things seriously that I'd never taken seriously. He helped me see the things that I'd never seen. He helped me drain the pool so I could run the way that I was made to run. I want to help you run financially the way you were made to run. I said, this isn't just motivational, inspirational. We work with people every single day in the fray, helping them in their trading understand what these things are. That's what we want to do for you. Now, I've been mentioning this whole time that we've got this Word on Investing Summit coming up. I am going to pop this into the comment box right here. You'll go to the landing page and you'll be able to claim a ticket to this event. You don't want to miss this event. Here it comes in the chat box, YouTube, Facebook. I popped it in there for you. You can join us on this event. All kinds of information on there. It is a limited amount that's going to be on the event. We're not going to have it too big because we want to have some interactive stuff on here. You'll see at the bottom of that page, all kinds of great people are going to be on here. This is going to be money, faith, and mindset. This isn't just going to be money. This isn't just going to be faith. It isn't just going to be mindset. It's going to be all of them. Faith-based, talking through what does the Lord want to say to us? How can we do this? How can we do better? The Benham brothers are going to be on there. I heard one of the Benham brothers say, if it's going to be Christian, it ought to be better, right? So that's going to be our goal at this summit. So you can come in, learn from some like-minded people. I also want to jump over and not forget, Miranda put this question here. Which industry is doing the best and the worst? Thank you for asking that. Here's a very easy way to do that. I'm going to show you two ways, right? I'm going to show you the top view, and then we're going to dive in. Let me answer that question for you. I like that question. Here we are looking at charts by Tradeway. So two things you can do right here, right on this. I can tell you right now, today, the weakest energy in the stock, or excuse me, the weakest there, I just gave it away. The weakest sector in the stock market, energy. How do I know that? Boom, right here. Right? That's just for today. That's just for today. Look, I could open this up and say for the month, right? And then I can see for the month, consumer cyclical, right? That has been the weakest on the month. I could just look at the week, right? Been a strong week in the stock market. We saw that on the chart. So you're seeing these in the positive, but here we are with healthcare. Healthcare, the lowest gainer of the week. Okay, the lowest gainer of the week. I've also got a heat map down here. This is for the day down here. I can see what's doing well. Green is doing well. Orange, not doing so well. Home building and construction. Very interesting, right? Getting smaller. I'm resisting the temptation to talk about the housing market right now. Let's keep in mind, guys, housing is at all-time high costs. Banks are already raising interest rates. Now, it's very minimal, the changes that have been made, but I know that some interest rates on loans, people have been approved for loans. Interest rates have gone up. I've seen this already in the news. Before they signed for their property, for their home purchase, those rates have gone up and they've had to adjust. People have had to walk away because they don't want to pay that extra. It's not what they thought it was going to be because interest rates are going up. Fed says they're going to raise interest rates maybe up to 8 times this year, which means this has got pretty serious implications, at least possibly for the real estate market. You know what I like about the stock market? It doesn't matter if the stock market's going up or going down because I can trade the markets. It doesn't matter what way it's going. In fact, I think about how to say this carefully. There are strategies you guys can learn where it doesn't matter if it goes up or down, right? I'm not afraid of it going down. I know how to trade the market when it's going down, but it doesn't matter which way it's going. We can teach you how to do that. They like to say, right? That what you don't know can't hurt you. I say what you don't know limits you. And what you do know can help protect and promote you. That's the first way. Thank you for the question once again. Let me show you the second way. I can just go into here. I know how to pull up each of the sectors on the actual chart. Look at that guy. That's the energy sector. Looking pretty healthy, right? Maybe I want to look at finances, right? The financial sector. Jump over here. I could jump in that guy. Maybe not so good. It's a nice run here, but we got lower highs on that. So we start to go into the actual sector and use a skill set that we have to learn how to read the chart, right? Once we do it long enough, it happens real fast, right? Real fast. That's how you can know. So based on that, it depends on the time frame, but those are the weakest and strongest performing sectors out there right now. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being on. That wraps us up for Market Monday. We've got that Word on Investing Summit. Plenty of coaches and mentors going to be on there giving you some great information, application, right? Good coaching is not information, it's impartation, which means they get into it with you. That's the goal. That's what we do here at Tradeway. Tradeway.com. If you're interested in the step one, you can always reach out to me. Support@Tradeway.com. You just put Market Monday. I was going to say support again. You just put Market Monday in there and you can reach out to me, ask anything you'd like. If you've got an episode idea, something you want to look at, we get questions all the time, and I will get that email passed on to me, and I will be able to build a show around it, right? If it's something that we want to look at here on Market Monday, I can do that. Of course, you can always join me next week, 6 p.m. Send this on over to anybody else that might be interested, needs to know this information. Be happy to help them. Appreciate you guys spending your Monday night with me. As I always say, that's Market Monday.